Okay, welcome to section 1.7, multiplying integers. These are the rules that we have for multiplying integers. It's not nearly as difficult as what it looks like. I just wanted to write down a lot of stuff, to be quite honest with you. So when you're multiplying integers, if they have like signs, that means your answer is going to end up being positive. Even if they're both negative, your answer ends up being positive. Think of it like videotape. And if you need to, think of it like videotape with me. That's a great idea. So, when I walk this way, that's a positive direction because I'm walking forward. When I walk this way, that's a negative direction because I'm walking backwards. If you watch me walk forwards, you watching me forwards, walking forwards is two positives. I'm going forward. If you watch me walk backwards while you're going forward, that's a positive, you going forward, times a negative, me going backwards. And I ended up backwards. I was walking backwards. That's what it looked like to you. But if you watch me in reverse when I'm walking forward, then it's going to look like I'm going backwards because you're watching it in reverse. If you watch me in reverse as I walk backwards, then it's going to look like I'm going forwards. Really, if you watch it in reverse and I'm walking backwards, it's going to look like I've gone forward. So, you can think of it that way if you want, or you could just use our rules. You always multiply the numbers first, and then if they were like signs, that means your answer is going to, that's what that is, means your answer is going to be positive, and if they're different signs, that means that your answer is going to be negative. So when I look at these two examples for multiplying fractions, we have top times top, bottom times bottom. 1 times 5 is 5. And then 5 times 9 is 45. Maybe you learn to cancel out inside of the problem. That's fine. You're going to end up with 1 over 9. If you learn to reduce at the end of the problem, you're still going to end up with the 1 over 9. But because one of them was negative and one of them was positive, that means they're different signs. Different signs means your answer is going to be negative. No matter which one was bigger or what the signs are, if they're different, your answer is going to be negative. Over here we have negative 13 minus 12. Brings up a great topic for us to talk about. This looked like negative 13 minus 12, but these parentheses right here aren't telling me to subtract this 12. In fact, it's telling me not to subtract the 12 because it's a negative 12. So that's negative 13 times negative 12. Had the minus been outside, then it would have been minus 12. But since the minus is inside, that's just telling me that it's negative. So negative 13, because there's nothing in between, times negative 12. 13 times 12 is a big number. It's cheating. 156. So that makes it a positive 156. Positive because like signs means we get a positive. Now if you haven't written these down, you need to pause this so that you can write them down. Okay. Because I need some space for the problem that I'm going to put up here. Example number 3. That implies that it's in your book. I don't know that it is. A lot of these I make up. Negative 7 times negative 1 times 4 times negative 3 times 2 times negative 5. Order of operations, just like it was last time, you need to do things from left to right if it's all multiplication, and in this case it is all multiplication. So 7 times 1 is 7, and it'll be a positive 7 because they're like signs. Times my 4, times my negative 3, times my 2, times my negative 5. 7 times 4 is 28. Times my negative 3, times my 2, times my negative 5. 28 times 3 is negative 84. Times my 2, times my negative 5. 84 times 2 is 168. Different signs means our answer must be negative. Times my negative 5, because that's the stuff we haven't done yet. 168 times negative 5 is 840. Negative times a negative makes it a positive 840. Now, let's talk about a shortcut, because I know you're interested in one. If you look at the problem and you see that it is all multiplication, which this one is, that means that you can go ahead and multiply all these numbers if you want, and then take care of the negative sign. You could have said 7 times 1 is 7, times 4 is 28, times 3 is 84, times 2 is 168, times 5 is 840. And you write down your 840 because you know you're going to use it. And then you go back and you can count how many negatives you have. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 negatives means my answer must end up being positive, because I'll have 2 of them that are like signs, and that answer will be positive, and 2 of them that are like signs, and that answer will be positive, and positive times positive is positive. If I had had 3 negatives, that means my answer would be negative. So 1 negative means my answer is negative, because the other number must be different sign. 2 negatives is up here. 3 negatives here. 4 negatives here. 5 negatives here. 6 negatives here, etc., etc. In fact, if you have an odd number of negatives, your answer is going to be negative. And if you have an even number of negatives, your answer is going to be positive. Keep in mind that only works when we are multiplying all of our stuff together. Okay? One more problem. See, now you see why I needed all that room. It's a big problem. They want me to multiply A, B, C when A is equal to negative 5, B is equal to negative 2, and C is equal to negative 3. I'll let you pause the tape. So the first thing I need to do is replace what my letters were. So A, B, C really means negative 5 times, because since there's nothing in between, that means it's multiplication, my negative 2 times my negative 3. Once again, there's nothing in between, so it must be multiplication. Now, if you want to use a shortcut that you just talked about, then I will. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. Now, I know you're thinking, I didn't write down any steps. Did that one in my head. Not all of them can be done in your head. Some of them can, not all of them. When they get long and involved, you're going to want to write stuff down. Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. And then how many negative signs do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 means it's odd. Odd means our answer is going to be negative. That's what makes it a shortcut. Let's write it. If I had done it the other way, negative 5 times negative 2 is a positive 10 times negative 3 gives me a negative 30. Same answer. Either way is fine. Okay. Let's talk classwork. Practice exercises. On page 33, numbers 2, 6, 10, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And then homework I'm going to write over here. It's the practice exercises 2. 13 through 19 odd. And numbers 31 through 41 odd. Make sure you box your answers and your classwork and your homework so that your mom will be able to find them easier and you'll be able to find them easier. Make sure you're highlighting your answers when you check your answer in the back of the book for your homework, because if you're not checking your answers, we don't know if you have any questions or not. So make sure if you have questions, you find a way to contact me and ask me about them. We have one section left in this chapter. Section 1.8. So next time when I go over section 1.8, which is going to look a lot like this, unfortunately. Next time when I go over section 1.8, then I will also give you some information on how to review for your test, because your test is upcoming. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.